Today I'll be test stitching a design for a sweatshirt on my Brother VE2200 Dream Maker. So the first thing I'm going to do is locate the design on my machine. It's already been downloaded. I've downloaded it directly to the machine from my USB. Once I locate it, I will set my design, and then here I am looking at the thread colors to make sure that I have all the threads ready. After I do that, I'd like to load my bobbin thread. You always want to start with a fresh bobbin thread. It just helps you to avoid having to change the bobbin thread during stitching. However, the machine will indicate when your bobbin thread is low, or before it runs out, it does indicate that you need a fresh bobbin. So here I'm loading it onto the machine. And you have to load it clockwise. So I hold my bobbin, I take the thread, run it through the feeder, cut it at the end. And unlike a sewing machine, you do not have to pick up the bobbin. Once you load it, you just simply load it, replace the cover, and move on to the next step. So here I have a 5x7 hoop. I'm going to load this hoop onto my embroidery machine, slide it in on the arm, and lock it in place. After I lock it in place, you always want to check your production sheet. Make sure that you have the thread colors that you wish. The thread colors are numbered, so I know which ones I want to use and what order. I then thread my machine with the first color, which is black in this case. The embroidery machine is numbered, so basically you just follow the thread path, put it through the cutter. This machine has an automatic threader, so before I lower the presser foot, push the automatic threader button, it threads it for me. Before we start, we always want to trace our design. This is a test stitch, so I have one sheet of stabilizer. I'm not going to test it on any material because I want to make sure that I have it right. I want to make sure I have the colors right. But when you want to check your placement, make sure that the machine is not going to hit the hoop, then you do a test stitch. When I'm ready, I lower the presser foot and push start. The nice thing about this machine is it cuts its own jump stitches. So once it's done stitching like a letter or a picture or something, it will cut its own jump stitch before it moves on to the next one. I'm going to let this stitch out for a few moments and then I'll be back. Now it's time to change the thread to the next color. So I remove my thread, grab my next color, follow the numbered thread path on the machine, thread it, and start the next color. And we do this all the way to the end of the design. So the test stitch came out really good. We did have different colors after in the final stitch out, And then I also stitched this out on a different machine. I stitched it out on my Brother Persona 100 machine, and that's because it has a bigger hoop, and it also is an upright machine. So instead of laying it down on a flatbed machine, having to flip it inside out, I could just hang it on the machine and it stitches out. And here is our final product. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments below.